On the mic is a queen.
A place for you to be authentically you.
It's good, crazy.
We support each other.
Keep going. Oh, okay.
And have fun while doing it. Most importantly, we encourage one another to keep going.
Okay, come on. 1, 2, 3, get it together.
You're listening to the Authentically Natural podcast, where we discuss controversial issues to bring one another together. We are your hosts, Kasey Freeman and Jasmine Philyaw.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Authentically Natural podcast.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how companies use Black businesses and Black customers to run their business and fund their business, and how they don't pay the Black influencers as much as they pay the white influencers.
Wow. This is a heavy topic.
Let me tell you something. Because when we talk about money run deep. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just like heavy on the heart. It's heavy on the pockets.
Mm-hmm. What's your perspective on it? Like companies in general utilizing Black companies and Black influencers.
So
and not paying them.
Yeah, so as you know, like the Black community does, make up a lot of the money spent. We spend a lot of money on clothes, on hair, on stuff we shouldn't be spending it on, but we do it anyway, partly because we need to keep
we're brand loyal.
We are brand loyal.
That.
I think that we're the most brand loyal culture in the community, and I know that bigger companies know that, and that's why they tap into that, and that's why there are some companies that use Black products that we need, like Black hair care lines that are not Black owned, to get us to participate. Like even me, like I don't, like my natural hair care product is not Black owned.
Yeah. I
don't have any shame about that, really, just because like that product works for my hair. Like I've tried other products by Black people and it just doesn't really work out as well as the other. So, but I do know that it's wrong. I wish that they were not owned by white people, but they are, and I can't help that. And it does make me very sad to know that people are manipulating our culture and our money that's leaving other people that look like me. And It doesn't go to build generational wealth in our community, and it doesn't go to help other people and younger Black people come up.
That's true. And this is no shade to Black owned companies. She's just saying what works for her hair. Just want to put that out there.
Yes.
Because,
I wish that my product was Black owned, but it just makes my hair look better.
I get that, and I think that like we talked earlier about there is really a lack of Black owned like companies that's geared towards hair care. It's mainly Asian. And we noticed
in particular like beauty supply stores. Majority of them are owned
by Asian Americans.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that the ones that are owned by Black people get so much credibility, like, oh, this is the first beauty supply store owned by a Black woman.
Yes.
Like, we're the main people shopping there.
Yeah, I think in Huntsville they are about to get a beauty supply store owned by a Black woman. The first. And I just feel like, dang, like, how is that the first? We literally make it. Like, we make y'all's companies. We make them.
By make, she means just purchase.
Yeah.
Like, our money goes
revenue.
there. We give you revenue. Exactly.
So, what do you think about influencers? Because I noticed, and I watched a video, TikTok, and I know TikTok is a big thing, and I saw some TikTok influencers, preferably Black, were just saying in general how they didn't get as paid as much as white influencers, and their stuff didn't, for some reason, it didn't climb or go viral. Right. Like, I think about the Savage Challenge. Or what was that? Renegade. That was created by a Black girl. And then you had two white influencers that did it, and they picked up all of this revenue, and people called them out. So then of course they added the young lady into the video, which, no offense, she demolished it. She was leaving them behind. I was like, well, clearly. But I was just like, wow, like she still didn't get her. Yeah. And like, I even think about in general the Savage Challenge, how big that moved, and I don't even think that young lady, she got credit, but I don't know how much revenue or demand. I'll show you later. Okay. But just saying in general, like these popular things, it's been popularized by black people. Black people make them, but it's like
it's been created by black people and popularized by white people.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like created and developed by black people. They put it out, and then
culture vultures.
Yes, culture vultures. We can go on and on. I even think about just in general, like just cultural appropriation, and just in general, like what that is.
I'm gonna ask you a question, but I'm gonna save it for after this question. Mm-hmm. Well, this topic. Mm-hmm. So, like, I also feel like it's not just TikTok. Like, I do know that there are a lot of YouTubers in particular. Like, I follow like Jackie Ina. She talks a lot about
her.
I love her so much, and about how she doesn't get her videos ranked as well as other people, and even talking about the Instagram algorithm, and a lot of them don't get the clout that they need or that they deserve. Like, there's this one girl, and I actually don't know her name, but she's a model for one of the clothing lines, not Fashion Nova. And she said that every time she posts a suggestive picture, it gets blocked or flagged. And literally Kylie Jenner does the same thing, and it gets all of these likes and all of these things. But hers gets taken down and removed from Instagram, and Instagram has even released this statement saying that they noticed that was happening to black people. And I'm like, yeah, y'all owe me a verification.
Me too.
Stand.
I'm opposed to it. My point is, I agree. And the Jenners and the Kardashians
are culture vultures to the end of time, and I am going to say that Kim Kardashian is a culture appropriator, and I don't care who wants to fight me on it, because I mean that to the bottom of my soul.
They are.
Yeah.
Like, they all have profited off of black culture.
Yes.
And they still do.
Yes. And not even just like what they participate in or what they buy. Like, obviously they don't own a beauty supply store, or they don't like create a clothing line that's appropriated, but like all of their body parts are supposed to be the mirror image of what a black woman is supposed to look like.
I agree. And just in general, you just tying this back to our topic, they would be, since they are so popular, they would be the ones that would get paid full dollar, as opposed to someone else that's black that wouldn't, that probably would be on the same stature, but literally would not get that same revenue, would not get that same payment. Like, they would not get that.
Yeah.
And I think about that. I think about companies that use minorities, preferably black people, but they don't. It's like a cop out.
Yeah. And then when they do use some companies, when they do use a black person, it's always one.
Ooh.
And they always have to be mixed race.
I mean,
and if they are natural, it's the mixed natural.
Oh, let's talk about that too, because that is the thing, and this is something that I do want to discuss too. The mixed natural, like
the appearance.
And this is what kills me, because it's like the appearance, it's the hair. Like, the hair is not the same. So a lot of the companies, they cater to that specific hair type.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so hard for black women to find products specifically for their hair. That's why you see black women having to use 8-10 products, because the products that are on the main shelves don't work.
Yeah.
That's why we need more black companies. Like, I love Maya Organics, who is technically Hispanic black owned company, but I like her because it's like she kind of figured it's good for my hair, but that's not for everybody. It's not everybody's jam. So I wish that could happen, but you do have companies that profit off of it, and they literally are not for us. Therefore, and there is no shade towards people that are of mixed descent. You couldn't help that. You can't help that.
Yeah.
But we're just speaking in general as a black person, like, mixed with black and black, that literally have difficulty finding a product because those products aren't geared towards us or targeted towards us. In a sense, for real. Like, you may see somebody that looks like us on the cover, but our hair is completely different.
Yeah, for sure. And I also just want to quote another YouTuber. You Love Megs. She does like a lot of like natural hair or relaxed hair or text-lax hair. Like she's done all of it really. And she was just talking about the pay rate of brand collabs and other PR and getting on PR lists and ads and stuff on social media and Instagram. And she just said that this company sent out a mass email, and the one person responded and replied all instead of just replied to just the company with their rate. And their rate was 3 times lower than You Love Meg's rate. And so she was like undercutting prices.
Oh my God.
And I don't know if it's because she didn't, and this is what You Love Meg said. She said, I don't know if it's because she didn't have the following that she thought she needed, or if she didn't think she was worth that. But the fact that like you're going lower like that and we're trying to meet the industry standard, that's what's setting us back too.
Oh my gosh. And it's so crazy because we oftentimes will be like, when we're assessing a situation, we try our best not to screen racial discrimination, but it's right there in our face.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we try to assess it and be like, oh, maybe it could be this. No. But it's actually discrimination.
Yeah. And I feel like I wish that there could be a bigger topic around money and how much the industry standard gets paid and what does that really look like. And I'm not trying to know your pockets, but like, where is it a thing that we can't know how much people get made, like make nowadays? Why is that such a thing? I
agree. That's kind of like on Insecure when Molly found out what her coworkers were getting paid, and she was like, "Why are they getting paid this?" We need to know, why would this person get paid to do the exact same thing, have the exact same following, the exact same credentials, but they're getting paid more?
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
And I think that big companies made it taboo so that they can continue to rip off whoever they wanted to rip off, pay whoever they want to pay.
Agreed.
It's not because it's like, I just don't want to tell you how much you get paid.
I know.
But I think the reason why it still is not a topic of conversation is because people are afraid to say how much they make and then find out that they're getting paid more than what I'm getting paid. And then it's like, well, what do you do in that situation? Like, I feel embarrassed, and you feel like, well, I'm probably better at my job than her, and that's probably why I'm making more money than her. So then there's a different dynamic that you have to face.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's not just what we do, but it's also on Instagram too, where a lot of money is being made right about now.
Yes, I even think about flat tummy tea. Like, that was like the whole
thing.
But like, you would see, I don't know, Lori Harvey used flat tummy tea, but Lori Harvey, and then you would see
Tammy Rivera.
Then you would see like, and I guess Kylie Jenner, her following would be massively large. I'm trying to find somebody somebody that would be on the equivalent or plane grade of that, and I could already tell her, be like, well, wow, like, what if that influencer was getting paid more than a Lori Harvey, like, you know, or like whoever, like, how does that look?
Okay, my question about like clout chasing on Instagram.
Let's talk about it.
I feel like now a lot of young girls are being manipulated to think that they have to look a certain way.
Ooh.
And they have to have a certain amount of followers to even be like relevant.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
everything is tailored around social media because everything now is on social media. Like, I already knew news was on social media, but news is definitely on social media now. Clothes, food, everything is on social media. It's like social media runs the world. Like, literally, jobs, companies. It could be like institutions. They will look at your social media.
Yeah.
Everything is tailored around it. So you do see young women in particular that are looking at these models, that are looking at these people, and they're like, wow, like, I need to look like this, or wow, this is a come up. This is quick, easy cash that probably doesn't involve this or that. But they literally just don't know you're going to get, preferably our black young women, you're going to get paid a lot lower
Yeah. And it's still a lot of hard work. Like,
yes.
Yeah, and, I feel like we underestimate an influencer.
I think so too.
Sometimes.
They think it's so easy because they're like, okay, well, all I gotta do is take a picture. No, you need to think about your outfit changes. You need to, what kind of content are you bringing? Are you even gonna pair that with a blog? Or are you gonna pair that with a YouTube channel?
Mm-hmm.
What will your YouTube channel be about? How will you stick out? Because everybody's doing the same thing. Or where are you gonna be taking your pictures at? Like, all of that stuff comes into play.
How do you feel about how much money you think that they make? Like, there are a couple of YouTubers / Instagram influencers that I follow that I really like and I really enjoy their content. And I know that they're paying like $3,000 a month for rent. I know that they're driving like a G-Wagon. I know that they're like always buying YSL glasses and bags and, Christian lubes and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and that ain't cheap. And none of it cheap. Mm-hmm. So just imagine like what they make on a post. Like, how do you feel about that amount of money versus, like, I feel like we work hard in our respective field, and I feel like I'm worth that.
I just feel like you're right. Especially with education, I'd be like, I'm up here helping the children, or I'm up here, doing all this, and you mean tell me you can't cut me an extra $50,000? Well, maybe not extra $50,000, but extra.
She got a little carried away, but I couldn't say to them, no.
Because there are people that probably get that much for a post.
Like, yeah, heck yeah.
I just think about that. I mean, you can't cut me off with like
$3,000
for posting like some ACT prep stuff. Like, you really can't. You can't break me off. Like, I just think about stuff like that. And I hate that because I feel like, you feel like, it kind of infuriates me because then I'm like, okay, I know your job is difficult, but dang, brands are paying you this much.
Yeah, just to sell their products, and you're helping like kids, and I'm helping people.
Some of that stuff is free. Like some of that stuff they don't even have to pay for. They just, not some, a lot of it, like the Louis Vuitton bags, the luxury, that is given. And then they got the audacity. See, this
like weaves and stuff, like they get those for free.
Let me tell you, the audacity. Y'all, you ever seen that meme, the audacity? You got the audacity. I follow you. You got the audacity to tell me about something that you got for free. How that make me look? How that make me look like
boo-boo?
The food.
Okay. And do.
Like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. And I feel like I feel like whenever they do talk about brands, I'm glad now that the laws have changed to make them say like this is a paid ad. Like,
yes,
you know what I'm saying. And I do appreciate the people who say, well, you don't even really use that product. Like how people called out Kylie for her product with the towel. It like came off in the towel.
The makeup, yes, because she didn't use the makeup wipe.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I was like,
that's why
what you get.
That's why I be purchasing Rihanna stuff. That's why Rihanna got this Fenty Beauty, and I
purchased it.
It was $40, a little travel kit, like small. I mean, because it was $40, and I want to try it out, and I didn't want to do the big bottle yet. But like I think about it, like I wouldn't buy anything for Kylie Jenner.
Me either.
But I bought something for Rihanna.
Right. It's because Rihanna knows who she is.
Rihanna knows who she is, and
she's on par with her brand.
And I think she's a good example of a black company that, of course, exemplifies diversity, but does not put black people at the end. Her first priority is
all
I'm
the
a black
shades.
woman, all the shades, but I'm a black woman and I understand. I have oily, acne-prone skin. I know that, preferably with black women, we have a hard time with shades, dark spots, or her makeup, the shades, just like what you said, like that, even lingerie. Like, I just think about stuff like that. Like, she puts us in the forefront, and that's what I like.
And even like thinking about like where our money goes, like obviously Victoria's Secret for a long time was the only lingerie out there, but since
it was more, but they were so popular.
Yeah, they were the most popular. But since this movement has started, they made it a point to say like, no, we're not going to incorporate more body types. We're not going to incorporate like, anybody else because this is our brand.
And I just switching gears. Let's talk about H&M.
Okay.
And how they used the young black boy. And they had a monkey on his shirt. Now, I will say one of the key things that anyone can take away from this episode is there is power when you have black people in the room. Like, clearly somebody would have told you, nah.
But even like Gucci, when they had blackface on their shoes.
Oh my God, yes.
I just feel like, why aren't you aware?
Why aren't you aware?
Like, those things are simple, like 1930s things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, get yourself together. Get yourself someone in that room that is aware. And just because all skin folk ain't kinfolk, okay? So you just because they black don't mean that they're the right amount of black that you need. Okay, I'm just saying you gotta have someone that's culturally aware. Someone
our
that's
viewers know what we're talking about.
They know. The viewers that we have,
all skin folk ain't
kinfolk.
And I agree. That's why you can't just have one. I've said this numerous times. You can't just have one black person in the room and be like, "Oh, we're diverse."
No,
you need different perspectives. We're all different. We are all black people are different. We are not the same. Every black person is different. So with that being said, you need a few different black people. Okay, you can't just have one white person, one Asian American, one Hispanic, and say, "Oh, I'm diverse." It does not work like that. So,
and I know I'm overhearing like. We have one.
I know.
The token.
Oh yes.
Like even for like, what was it? The Impact.
Oh yes.
I was the only black person like on the whole thing. And then there was only one Hispanic on the whole team of like 20 of us. There's only 2 people who were not white. 3 people. Malika was there. She was international student. So we had 1 Hispanic, 1 black, and 1 international student, and then the rest was white.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were so many other candidates, that they could have chosen, but because they want to fill a quota. And I don't like that.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right. Moral of the story is do your research on your companies and support who you want to support, but be smart with what they believe in and what they stand for, and make sure they line up with your beliefs.
Absolutely. That's a good wrap up.
You.
It's a great wrap up.
Thank you.
Well, we're wrapping this up. Go ahead and tell them what to do, Kasey.
On the podcast of Authentically Natural, be sure to subscribe and like our video. Be sure to let other people know that we're here by sharing the podcast.
Sharing is caring.
And don't forget to rate. See you next time on the next episode.